Berakhot Hashem, the Gemara this morning, Berakhot, page 51a. Tana adacha mibifnim v'shtifam bachutz. The Gemara this morning is going to speak about the importance of the cup of Kiddush and the way to do the preparation just before doing the Kiddush. As we know, it must take a cup for doing Kiddush. And the cup should be the most beautiful cup you have in your house in order to honor the Kiddush. Kiddush is made once a week, on Friday night and Shabbat morning, right? Sometimes in the occasions also of the holidays. But when we do Kiddush, we don't want it to be a regular cup. We want it to be a Kiddush cup. And you're supposed to invest in mitzvot. Means the best cup of Kiddush is made out of silver. If you could have a nice silver cup for Kiddush, that'll be the best thing. Second option will be a cup made out of crystal. Crystal is also something important, and it's also for the mitzvah. But each one can choose his cup of Kiddush and do the best mitzvah the way possible for him. Now, the Gemara is teaching us this morning, even though the cup is clean, adacha mibifnim v'shtifayim bachutz, you need to rinse it from inside and outside. And even you say, but it's clean, what do you mean? I just took it from the cupboard, right? Doesn't make a difference. There is a mitzvah to rinse a cup of Kiddush from inside and outside, not to wash it, to rinse it just before doing Kiddush. It says over there also that it needs eitur. What's eitur? Eitur means you have to wrap around your fingers, around the cup of Kiddush. So there's two ways to do it. Either you put it in the middle of your palm of your hand and you take your 5 fingers and you wrap them around the Kiddush cup, or you put it really in the tip of your fingers and you try to wrap a little bit with the end of the tip of your fingers, right, around the cup, right? Both opinions are good, right? According to the Arizal, it's better to put it on the tip of the fingers and wrap the tip of the fingers around the cup. Why do we do it? Kabbalistic meaning. The reason is kos. The word cup in Hebrew is kos. Kos, the valerical number of this word is 86. Kos, chaf, vav, and samech. Chav, valerical number is 20. Vav is 6. And samech is 60. 20 plus 6 plus 60 is 86. 86, this is the valerical number of the word Elokim. Elokim is the gvura, is the rigorous side of the kedusha. In order to make it softer, we put our 5 fingers or fingertips around the cup. 86 and 5 is 91. 91 represents 2 names of Hashem. Yud Ke Vav Ke, which is 26, and Adnut, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, and Yud, which is 65, which is bringing to atone and to make softer the rigorous side of the din, right? And now we are ready we are holding the cup and we are ready to do the Kiddush. Kiddush is always is held in the right hand. Even if you're a lefty, you have to do Kiddush in the right hand, right? And now, once you do that, you fill up the cup. So, on Friday night and in Shabbat morning, you fill it till the top, but it doesn't have to be overflowing. You fill it in the way that you would serve it to a guest. You don't serve a guest a cup of tea overflowing, right? You don't serve a guest a cup of wine overflowing. You have to put it to the top and leave just a little bit right place, so when you hold it, it doesn't spill over. We overflow the cup on Motzei Shabbat when we do Havdalah. This is the moment when we want to have like a blessing, a bracha, so we overflow the cup and then we take the cup and we do Havdalah with. So we hold it in the right hand, we fill it up to the top, and we will look at it, and we're ready to do Kiddush. Now, there's also another type of blessing on a cup, which is called Kos shel Beracha. Kos shel Beracha is when you have 3 people or more, and sometimes we do it only with 10 people, we do Birkat Hamazon, regular, the same way you do it, and we bring a cup of wine at the end of the meal. So we do Birkat Hamazon, and at the end of Birkat Hamazon, when we finish off saying, Oseh Shalom b'mromav, u'berachamav, v'yaseh Shalom aleinu makom Yisrael, the one who did the Zimun would say, Savri Maranan, or Kos Yeshut Esa, Ubshem Adonai Ekra, Savri Maranan, Baruch Ata Hashem, Elokeinu Cholam, Borei Pri Hagefen, and he drinks it, and he passes the cup around. This is called Kos Shebacha. It's a cup of blessing, and it gives blessing for the person and all the people around the table. We don't do it by ourselves. It needs 3 people. So the Rab Ben Ish Chai suggests we do it on Friday night, on Shabbat morning by Kiddush, right? And in holidays occasions. And if you have 10 people, it's even much better. So the Gemara is bringing the next story. Rav Nachman, right? He would do sitting and in eating with Ula, right? Ula was the guest. Rav Nachman was the host. Now, after they finish eating, Rav Nachman gave Ula a cup of wine. He says, please do Birkat Hamazon and be blessed on the cup. When they finished and they blessed on the cup, Ula gave the cup to the host, Rav Nachman, and tell him drink. He drank, and Rav Nachman said, let's send the cup to my wife, right? Yalta, so she can have also the blessing. So Ula told him, oh, you don't need to send her. You drank, that's good enough. Yalta heard that, and when the husband did not answer, didn't contest, and says, no, let's send her anyway, what did she do, said the Gemara? She got up angry, and she went to the wine cellar of her husband, Rav Nachman, and she broke over there 400 barrels of wine. She told them, you didn't want to give me a bracha, you're going to pay for that. And then the wine spilled over there like water, and then what happened was, they regretted not to give her the cup of wine. So to tell you, don't get your wife upset, you don't know what's going to happen next. So that's just a joke. To tell you, you have to give and consider your wife part of your bracha, and you're supposed to give her this bracha, so you give the cup. The same thing, Friday night and Shabbat morning, you do Kiddush, the first one to get to taste from the cup is your wife. Right? And really the commentaries, they wonder, Yalta was somebody's very learned. We see in certain parts of the Talmud, she asked good question to her husband, Rav Nachman. How come she got so upset and went to break the wine? So basically one of the answers was the following. It says, when wine does not spill in a house like water, there's no bracha, which means you have a white, beautiful tablecloth, and you have a kiddush cup, and one of the kids moved around and pushed the cup, and the whole tablecloth becomes now red and stained, and you get upset, you slap him, you scream at him, so it means you're upset that the wine spilled. They say this house does not see a bracha. Why? Because wine has to spill like water. What does it mean? When water spills on a white tablecloth, it wouldn't stain it, right? Even if wine spills and you consider it like water, even if it got stained, then you get a bracha. Wine spilling on a table is a bracha. So therefore, Rav Yalta said like this, they didn't give me a bracha. They didn't send me the cup so I can have a bracha. What does she do? She goes and she breaks 400 barrels of wine. The wine pours like water, right? And then what happens, she says, now there's going to be a bracha in my house because wine spilled like water. And you see, Rav Nachman did not even get upset. So to tell you, they avoided the bracha from her, so she wanted to bring back a bracha by spilling her husband's wine like water. You should have a great day. Shavua Tov V'Rach, Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.